Hello, 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 hello. I will make myself a little bit shorter. Okay. Hello. This is uh this is my third attempt at trying to figure out how to make a talking head YouTube video thing. And the reason why I'm remaking this is because initially I shot one over that side and I was editing it and I realized I have the equipment for good audio for the voice, but I'm so lazy. The microphone was literally in the shot, but I didn't turn it on. So now I'm just redoing the video with the microphone, and I might as well change t-shirt because I was wearing the default Singapore Army admin t-shirt. So the point of this video is mostly for myself, as to serve as a sort of a reminder or a starting point to tell myself that I should stop caring so much about the gear and care more about the content that I want to make. Because it was I suffer from this thing, which is blaming the gear and wanting more gear. Because to be honest, I just like to touch gear and kind of like explore all the nuances and find out all the limitations and just look at it perform, and then that's it. So I was just creating test this, test that, test dynamic range, test focus, test depth of field, and just sort of test, and it never goes anywhere lah. And so what I want to do now is tell myself that I'm going to start something and actually make and then upload it. So a valuable thing that I want to say, at least within this video, is it's not about the gear. I've bought so many cameras and sold so many cameras and then bought more cameras and then felt like I should buy another camera, and I have nothing to show for it. So the thing I want to do now is to make use of the camera that I have, which is a Panasonic GH6, which is fantastic, actually fantastic. Just stop blaming the problem of the depth of field or the noise or whatever it is like, because I bought this thing for me to practice color grading. I wanted something that can shoot good quality slow motion 10-bit photo 2, whatever all those things are. And I also wanted it to be the case where all the lenses are small so that I can actually travel with this thing. Because I've had the full frame stuff from Sony before and the image is very nice. The last camera I had no 10-bit video, and now all the Sony cameras have 10-bit video, but whatever. The thing was that the Sony A7 cameras were very nice, very small, they look very sexy and whatever. All the lenses were just super big. So I would think that I could travel with the nice big full frame, but at the end of the day, the lens was so huge that I kind of didn't want to bring it out. Or when I took it out, I felt like I am holding a bazooka and just very self-aware of the giant schlong that is in front of the camera. So when I bought this Micro Four Thirds thing, actually this thing is serving its purpose because I feel so compelled to whip it out, because the body is big but the lenses are so small. Even with the 24 to, I mean full frame equivalent the 24 to 120, it's just so small. This thing is just 120 millimeters. Look at that. It's hardly the size of my face. And then the Sony equivalent for this is this giant thing that feels like a bomb. So actually this thing is pretty good, just that I had to sacrifice noise and bokeh. But what I've learned throughout using a system like this is that I'm forced to learn how to frame something better. It's not like my framing is very good lah, but I'm forced to learn how to frame better, and I'm also forced to learn how to expose better, because this camera is not like the Sony A7s where you can kinda almost anyhow expose something and get back some really decent no noise footage. With this guy, I gotta do tests and like figure out, oh, ISO 250 very good, ISO 320 not bad, little bit of that weird CMOS smearing, ISO 400 has a magenta shadow. It's kind of like, it's pretty interesting, because what I've realized doing this thing is it's not always lower ISO is better. You gotta test the camera. And then there are some ISOs that are higher, but actually are cleaner. I'm sure a lot of people know this already, maybe, I don't know, but I didn't know this until recently. And I also found out that on many higher end cinema cameras, you gotta kind of do your tests to figure out how the camera likes to perform. It's not always a one size fits all checkbox thing that you can apply non-stop to every single piece of gear. So learning about the equipment and pushing it to its limits and understanding what it can and cannot do is something that I've learned with this camera. And although I really want to sell it to buy something else with a better autofocus, the truth is actually this is just fine. I think it's autofocusing on my face with the Olympus lens, and I think it's just fine. So if I... is my window closed? So if I just wrap up this long rant about myself, is that I need to stop making tests and start telling some sort of story. So if you're like me, watching this thing and found yourself in the never-ending cycle of blaming the equipment and just doing tests and thinking that you're not doing something that you actually wanted to do because you didn't do it, and then you just look at the gear and then you say that I think it's because of this camera, or I need that lens. The truth is you need to shut up and then figure out what kind of story you want to say, what kind of shots you want to shoot, what kind of video you want to edit, and then go and do it. Because what I've learned recently is that it really doesn't matter what camera you have, and it really matters what images you want to create. There's this time early this year, I went on a trip with my company to Japan, and we had this challenge where everyone was to shoot a short film on your smartphone, and based off a random word that was generated just right when we entered Japan. And what I learned doing that thing was really having a story was important, or at least having something to say was more important than the actual gear or all the tools that you use. So using just an iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's a good phone lah, it's not like some trashy phone lah. But I never made a single film, and making the film from this phone really taught me that just understanding the limitations and not pushing it outside its limitations and playing to its strengths, you can get something really nice. And what I've learned through that, so many learnings, right? Because I've been having this kind of camera for so long, I know the limitations, which are like you can't do super zoom bokeh stuff, so just aim for wide shots, as many wide shots as you can, frame it properly, and just shooting with this was easy because I wasn't trying to make it do something that it can't do. And the film turned out well. I like it, I still like it, I watch it and I'm still kind of blown away by the quality the phone can produce. And it was edited all on the phone with the LumaFusion. And the iPhone's dynamic range is pretty freaking awesome. There's this shot of the sunlight hitting the chair in the subway, and I know if it wasn't the iPhone or some sort of like high-end cinema camera or something that can shoot long, it will either be blown out where the sun is or super dark where the chair is. And because the iPhone has this computational photography, videography thing, you can capture all of that in just a normal Rec 709 image, and it's just so nice. I love it a lot. Anyway, so at the end of this video, I'd like to play the film and let this be the start of my journey of not just doing tests and blaming gear and trying to find the next thing to buy for myself to play with, but actually use what I have to create something nice to watch, at least for myself. That being said, the next thing I want to buy is a gimbal, because I have very shaky footage. Or I can just learn how to shoot steadier. I don't know. We'll see. I will see you when I make another video as I talk into the Amzuiko Digital 17mm 1.8. What a fucking nerd. Bye bye.